Hello, part two. I know a lot of you ask about my lipstick, so I thought I'll show you what I do. Obviously, you can see I have no lipstick on. I get I have a lot of lipsticks, to be honest, but I do love the bright colours. This was €1 in Spain, so yeah, cheap northern bird. This, however, it's a number 7. And it was £11, and it lasted me about 3 weeks. It's got SPF 30 in it, but it gets to a certain point and it won't turn up. So me being the type person I am, brush, dip in, so it changes the colourings to a more softer. There we go. All ready to go. So, part 2. There we go. Sat in the garden. The sun's about to come out. A bit cloudy, so glasses on, lippy on. All ready for it. So, the motorhome. I think France set it for us as how we'd made the right decision. Every day it was just like a holiday. We loved the idea of not being in one place. A lot of people said, oh, what about a registered address? Doctors, banks, things like that. So we did have a registered address with some friends of ours that we'd known, 37 years. So they said we could use theirs as a registered address, and we told the doctors, flapping with my hair, my idea of doing my hair in the morning, I go like this. There you go, that's it, done. Anyway, we told everybody, like the bank, the doctors, even the dentists, that it's a registered address. We don't live there. That is our registered address, and they were quite happy with it. We said we're not out of the country 12 months of the year. So yeah, everybody was happy with it. So it is easy to get round as long as you have, lipstick's rolling away. As long as you have somebody that will facilitate it for you, basically. So any mail that comes through, we'd ask them to open it, take a photo, send it to us on WhatsApp, and then bin it if we didn't need it, keep it if we did. But we did contact a lot of people and say we need everything paperless, so everything will come through on email, which is a lot easier. Like I said previously, our daughter loved it. When she first came, she didn't want to go home. She said, I can see why you've chosen this lifestyle now. She loved it. Our son hated it until he found a girlfriend who'd got kids, and then it was, so do you think I could borrow your motorhome for a weekend and go away? No, not a chance. Not a chance would we let him borrow it. I remember when he was younger and we went away, you'll have to excuse me, my throat's really gravelly this morning. We went away, and when we came back, one of the neighbours said to me, I don't like to tell tales, but we saw your Scott basically screwing the ass off the car up the street. I think he was doing about 30 miles an hour in second gear. So I was like, no. Don't get me wrong, he can drive now, but he is a bit of a boy racer. Sorry, I had stopped it then. I wasn't sure if I got my earrings in. I don't feel dressed without my earrings. And these little beauties were £1.75 from a shop in the UK called Savers. So, yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't actually. It was Superdrug. Yeah. Little basket. Pretty pleased with them. Anyway, I lost my train of thought now. Yeah, so basically, he never got to use the motorhome. Not a chance. He's never stayed in it. He's never driven it. He never will. We don't even have it anymore. We had the motorhome for 6 years and did enjoy it, but we still enjoyed going backpacking. We loved backpacking. We loved the thrill of setting off. We'd go for 3 months. Backpack on our backs, never weighed more than 10 kilos because cheap Yorkshire folks, we put it in the overhead compartment in the plane. So it was always under 10 kilos. And to be honest, it was normally under 9. And people say, how do you travel for 3 months with 9 kilos? Quite easily. You don't need a pair of knickers every day. You don't need 16 bras. You don't need 3, 4, 5 bikinis. There are such things called shops in different countries, and they do sell things like shampoos, conditioners, washing fabrics. Now there's a novel idea. You could take 3 pair of knickers, one to wear for one day, one to wear the next day, one in case you nick your shickers and have to change them. Wash them out. France, they do bars of soap, probably about this big. And it's a washing bar. So you could literally, we'd just wash our smalls, not so small to be fair. We'd wash our smalls on a night, put them out to dry. I'd put them over the shower, or to be fair, Kev would use anywhere he could find. As in, if there were lamps on the wall, he'd hang them over the lamps. You know, over the lampshades, just so that they're nice, neatly placed, so that they could dry. You probably see this. I'm sat in the garden in my daughter's, and these are my granddaughter's leggings drying. So classy. I did tell you it wouldn't be polished. It is basically just me. Nobby's gone for his chemo today. He's on his 2nd infusion of his 3rd round, and we're waiting to find out his results to see if the chemo's actually working, and then we're going to take it from there as to what we do. So basically, we enjoyed the motorhome. We did France, Spain and Portugal and loved it. But then we were like, okay, because we didn't go over for a couple of weeks, we went over for months, we really visit the areas and see them. So we were just a bit worn out with those. And we didn't want to go to Italy or Croatia, mainly because of the driving, a lot of driving for Kev. So the motorhome would stay on the drive more and more. Sometimes it'd stay there because it needed fixing. If you see a motorhome that's not had any repairs to it, they've either had them repaired or they've not driven it for long. But you see a lot that taped up. So we had the big sticker over the back, which I shall put photo here. If my editing skills work out well, you might see a photo there. If not, just pretend that there was a picture of a motorhome with a sticker on it. I'm hoping I'll be able to do it. Anyway, so we had to have the sticker on there because of the hole of him reversing into a tree. Then he reversed into a fence, so we had a bike rack on the back, which we never put bikes on. And we didn't take it off because that was good, because that saved the back of the motorhome, because he would reverse into a fence and the bike rack was dented. So instead of it being sort of like this, it was like this. Yeah. We've had 2 lots of side panels where the bulbs are, the backlights, we've had those replaced, and it's an expensive job. It really is expensive, but I got sick of seeing the tape. We even put white tape on it, but it looked a mess. So yeah, and levelling blocks, oh my god. Trying to get the motorhome level when you park up somewhere. I've heard people say you can divorce over levelling the motorhome. We'd pull up on a site, I'd get out, and he'd be driving on. I'm like, right, slowly. No, don't go too fast. You're going too fast. Slow down. You're going to go over the edge. And he'd be in the thing going, for fuck's sake. So yeah, there's an experience in itself. You'll find out if and when you do it. Don't do it. No, to be fair, it's a lot better with the levelling blocks. So much easier. And then, especially when you're washing up and the things don't sort of fall off or tip over, or yeah. That's another thing when you're driving. Oh my god, when we first got it, the bangs and rattling, and it was weird. I remember talking to somebody and they said they actually sold the motorhome because she didn't like the sound of the noise as you were driving along, going over the roads and everything sort of banging and clattering around. So, like, I'd got oven trays and roasting dishes in the oven, but I had to buy the rubbery film thing and put it in between, because every time you went over a bump it was like bang, 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 clatter, crash. I don't know if you've seen the advert for the, I think it was Compare the Market, and the meerkats are driving along in a motorhome, they turn around the corner and all the cupboards open and everything flies out everywhere, and yeah, it was like that. That actually happened to us once. Driving along and the fridge had a lock on it, and as we sat there, this melon appeared at the side of us. I was like, what the hell? Turn round. Half the contents of the fridge was rolling down the motorhome because we'd not put the lock on the fridge door. And then we were actually driving down a motorway at this point, and they say not to walk. I mean, it's illegal to do it anyway, to walk around in the motorhome, but everything was flying out, so I thought, I'm going to have to get down. So I'm going in the motorhome and I'm crouching down so the people at the side, because we'd got windows down both sides, and I'm crouching down so nobody can see me. But then banging all over the place, and you'd think it'd be sturdy, but it's not. And a couple told us she actually knocked herself out doing it. She shouldn't laugh. She fell into the cupboard, banged her head, and knocked herself, not out, knocked herself backwards as such. So yeah, you do have to make sure that things are locked away. But we did have some laughs in the motorhome. I remember once, we never bought a satellite dish to sit outside. We never bought a satellite dish to sit inside and watch TV, because I could have done that in a house. I didn't want to do that. The motorhome for us was a vehicle to get around places, to see more places, and it served its purpose. But initially it was a case of, we need to see more of our own country, which we never did. We've never been down to Devon or Cornwall in it, because it's too touristy, too busy, too expensive. We will go, but obviously we don't have the motorhome now, so it won't be in that. But we ended up, I suppose, using it when we went to see people. We'd sleep on the streets outside, close the blinds down. You couldn't see a thing then. We had curtains put across between the front and the rear, like the habitation, the driver's section. We had blackout curtains so that you could literally just close everything down. Nobody'd know you're in there. Had little twinkly fairy lights up in. I'll put another picture here. There might not be one, depends if I can work it out, but I'll put another picture here of the little twinkly lights that we had up in the motorhome. But yeah, we were sat one night and we'd bought DVDs, because we got a TV with a DVD player in so that we could watch DVDs. If and when. Normally we sit outside. But this one night we're watching this film called Argo, ARGO. If you've watched it, you'll know what it stands for. If not, it's a really good film. And as far as I can remember, I think it's a true story. And Argo is short for Argo fuck yourself. So we've been watching it. And our motorhome had an overcab bed. That was one thing we never wanted. I wanted an island bed, but anyway, we got the overcab bed and it was so comfy. So I'm saying to him, right, I'm going upstairs to bed, as I'm climbing up the ladders. And he sat on the sofa downstairs and I said, I'm going to be sleeping in first class tonight. You're in second class. You can sleep on the sofa. And as I'm going up, and he went, Tina. I went, what? He went, Argo. It's like, I go to you two, mate. Got upstairs, shut the curtains. I went, you're downstairs. You're sleeping on the sofa tonight. That's the one thing about living in a motorhome. You do have to be able to get on. We were in a 6-metre tin box, and we'd gone from quite a large house, which there may be a picture here of it soon. There may not be. If not, imagine this big house here with a garden with plenty of rooms to escape. So we'd moved from a big house to a 6-metre motorhome, and trying to navigate each other, as in, so our layout was, you came in the back, the kitchen was sort of on the back here, the door was here, the kitchen was here, then you had the shower in front here, wardrobe, and then it was like a galleyway, like an alley down with a double sort of what do you call it, dinette thing, and then a sofa. So all we had was this like one little runway down. So trying to get past each other in the motorhome, say he was putting something away in the cupboards, and I'd be stood there going, getting annoyed, and then you sort of hold things in, and then you'd explode and say, "Are you going to be much longer? How long are you going to be?" Why don't you just, yeah, we do. I know when people say, excuse the French, pardon my French, but when they swear, me and Kev can speak French quite fluently, and it's usually got a lot of F's in it. And you're like, F's sake. So then you've nowhere to run. If you've had a disagreement, very rare we argue. If you have a disagreement, it's like, what do you do? Where do you hide? So I sat down and I said, we need to have a chat. I said, we can't do this. I said, we need to communicate more, and rather than just sort of being polite and waiting till you move out of the way so we can get past, say, excuse me, can I just get past you? Job solved, done. And from then on it worked. We got on really well. We never argued. Still never do, really. We banter, we do banter a lot. And if you don't know us and you meet us, you'd think sometimes that we don't like each other. That's true though. Sometimes I don't like him. Sometimes he don't like me. Always love him. Don't always like him. I think that's the same in any relationship. But we had some laughs in it. I remember once. This was before his cancer started. If you're not aware, Kev had started with anal cancer, which he thought was piles. He left it for years thinking he'd got piles. And he'd run out of cream. And when he came out of the bathroom in the motorhome, and he said, "Can you get me some more cream?" He'd never go into the chemist himself. It was always me. I had to go in. And the thing is, I'd go in and say it's for my husband anyway, but he didn't want to go in and say, "Could I have cream for piles?" I would. They're used to it, aren't they? My mum was a pharmacist and I used to help her in the chemist, so I'm used to all sorts. Anyway, he said, "Oh, you need to get me some pile cream." Right, okay. And then I started washing his hands and I said, "What cream have you just used? If you've no cream left?" And he said, "I used that cream of yours in there." So which cream are you talking about? He said, "You know, the thing in the little tube." He said, "It looks like my pile cream tube." Right, yep, thanks for that, Kev. That is my anti-wrinkle under eye cream. He didn't have his glasses on. He'd seen a tube of cream and rubbed it on his pile. So, well, you'll have a nice smooth bumhole in the morning then, won't you, with the anti-wrinkle cream? Honestly, he is an absolute nightmare. He picks things up. "Oh, this'll do." Yeah, he's showered in conditioner before because it's a bottle and it's in the bathroom. So obviously it's for washing with. No, it's not, Kev. It's not at all. He really doesn't think. Sorry, I stopped for a little water break then, using my show bottle. If you've not had these, they're amazing. This one's a 950 millilitre one, and it's show, SHO or OHS on that one. Yeah, they keep things cold for 24 hours. They're amazing. And I'm not trying to, well, I am plugging it, but I don't get any commission for it. It's something I use. By the way, if I do actually try sell anything or promote anything, it's what I've used that I like and I believe in. If I get a commission for it, then brilliant. I mean, I have tried contacting a few companies. One of them has come back saying they're very interested in it. So I'll wait for that. But I've got a lot of companies contacting me at the minute, offering me to advertise, promote things, which I don't use. Even a supplement company have said, you know, would be interested in taking you on, seeing your profile, use a lot of supplements. But the products that they're selling, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever. They're a lot more expensive than what I would pay. They're not as strong as I would buy. So for me, it's a no-go. So the water bottle, no, that's That's just something that I would use. So yeah, life in the motorhome. Because our first trip to France, we knew we were going for a while. It was before Brexit, so we went for 4 months. And I know what the French can be like. A lot of them don't speak English. And I'm saying this because I've got French friends, and they can be quite rude and cutting. So I thought, I need to polish up my French. I'd learnt it in school. So I was, I wasn't too bad at it, but I knew that I needed to brush up on it if we were going to be there for 4 months. You don't spend 4 months in a country and expect everybody to speak English to you, although some people do. And I know this because I used to be a travel advisor, and the stories you'd hear. Anyway, I digress again. So I brushed up on my language skills, and I could get by in France absolutely no problem whatsoever. Kev's contribution was a little flaky, let's put it that way. His French teacher very rarely turned up to school when he was there, and he did try learn a bit. He can't get past his Yorkshire accent, so you would get Frogshire, a French stroke Yorkshire accent. But the one thing he can say in his broken English French accent is, oh God, he says, oh, you French, you are so clever. You make the Kraft cheese slices to fit the bread. And he thinks he's amazing because he can say that in his French accent. So we have little code words for foreigners. If we sort of listen to people talking, we're like, what are they? And if they're French, we call them Kraft cheese slices. For that reason, you see, do you get the thing? Kraft cheese slices. So for Germans, I decided to call them sweet cabbages. So if we'd hear them speaking, we'd say, are they sweet cabbages? Reverse it. Sweet, sour, cabbage, sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's German. Sorry. No, some love the German people, but that's just a way of, without them knowing who we're talking about. We do have little things like that. If we have somebody that, I suppose, I don't know what region it is, but in Yorkshire, a lot of people call you a knobhead, an idiot, basically. So rather than calling somebody that and knowing what you're talking, I would call them bedless. So if they are bedless, they have no beds, no bed. Remember, follow me for more tips on how to talk about people behind the backs. How old are we? Childish, stupid. Who cares? Who cares? So yeah, life on the road was good anyway. 6 years of it, we'd come back, see family, and couldn't wait to get away again. But then, yeah, we started going further afield. So we said, we need to get rid of the motorhome, really. It's sat there, we're taxing it, we're insuring it. So it was becoming a waste of time. It was basically sat on our daughter's drive quite a lot, and we'd go back and stay in it and then go off and fly off somewhere. So yeah, we decided to get rid. And to be honest, that was probably scarier than leaving the house, because we still had a base. I had a wardrobe, I had a shower, bathrooms, a bedroom. What do I have now? Do you know what? I'll show you what I have now. I have washing there. That there is our house. That's all we have. Do you like my glamorous setting, by the way? It's like my daughter's back garden. Washing out. That I actually hung out last night to dry. But yes, that little box is our house. And that was more scary, thinking we've no base, we've no jobs, we've no house, we've no car, we'd nowhere to call home. So that was scary. But Kev was loving it. He was thriving off it. Did we regret it? No, not at all. Not at all. But then, as we sort of went off backpacking and everything, loving life, that is when cancer struck. And that will be the next instalment